Seeing double has never been weirder or more entertaining. I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 weird facts about twins. 25. Life expectancy. What's the best thing about being a twin? Well, apparently you live longer. According to a study by the University of Washington, which revealed this incredible fact in 2016, experts focused on 2,932 sets of twins in Denmark, specifically those born between 1870 and 1900. They found a particularly long lifespan among identical twins. There are also fraternal twins who are more distinct from each other, but they didn't live as long. Whether identical or fraternal, it's believed twins do better in life thanks to that close social bond they share together. 24. Do twins have the edge in sports? There are definitely high achievers in this field, including hockey players Daniel and Henrik Sedin and tennis players Bob and Mike Bryan, not to mention Tiki and Rondé Barber. So does that mean being a twin delivers an epic win in sporting events? Oh, it really depends. Twins can sense what the other is thinking for sure, plus they can be identical physically. However, there isn't conclusive proof that twins automatically become better sports people than others. 23. Divorce rates. There are downsides to being a twin. One of those being that your parents might get divorced. In 2011, research was published showing a link between moms and dads who had twins and relationship breakups. Going by the parents' education, their age, the sex of their twins, and the overall size of their families, researchers noticed a small but significant increase of 1% in divorces. Why does it happen? Added financial pressures are thought to play a key role in these separations. You may also get less sleep when caring for twin babies, leading to further distress. 22. Daddy issues. All twins have the same father, right? Wrong. There can be a situation where the mother produces two separate eggs, which are fertilized by two separate partners. Through this process, referred to as heteropaternal superfecundation, you have fraternal twins with different daddies. Here's a weird bonus fact. Heteropaternal superfecundation is rare in human beings, but common in animals such as dogs and cats. 21. Sleep patterns. Twins look the same, but do they sleep the same? In the case of infant twins who share the same bed, they most likely do. Twin babies who co-bed sleep in sync. This is also thought to be connected to being fed at the same time. A 2018 study analyzed babies in this position, discovering that little ones slept 85 minutes longer than usual, with the parallel sleeping and feeding system in place. 20. Twin peaks. The rate of twin births underwent a boom in the late 20th and early 21st centuries. Statistics show that the birth rate among twins in the US increased by 76% between 1980 and 2009. The large number of twins, especially fraternal or non-identical twins, is linked to the development of IVF in the late 70s. IVF produced many fraternal twins due to the nature of the fertilization process. There has been a slight decline in numbers since, with a reported 7% drop between 2019 and 2020. 19. Evil twins. How much truth is there in the stereotype of the evil twin? It's best not to assume that twins are bad people. However, they're normal members of society just like everyone else, and they can commit crimes just like everyone else. For example, there was the case of twins Jon and Elvin Gomez, who were connected to a series of sexual assaults in Marseille, France between 2012 and 2013. Only one of them was guilty, but proving which brother did it was difficult because of their identical DNA. By the time Jon confessed, it was 3 years later. He admitted being the attacker after being identified through his stutter. 18. Twins are lefties. Did you know that twins are more likely to be left-handed? The percentage of non-twins who are lefties is around 9%. Let's compare that information to the stats of identical and fraternal twins, whose left-leaning percentages are approximately 15% and 12% respectively. These stats are compelling, though I should add, this doesn't happen all the time with twins, and they don't always share the same hand preference. 17. Vanishing twin syndrome. A tragic detail about twins is that sometimes one can disappear. With vanishing twin syndrome, a fetus that has sadly died is absorbed by the mother and its fellow twin, typically during the first trimester. So a mother can initially see a fetus that later vanishes from scans. 16. Twin time. Non-identical twins can be born at different times. We might think that twins are born simultaneously, but this isn't always the case. Take IVF, for instance. That process can freeze an embryo, leading to one twin being implanted long after the other. Or it can happen when eggs are fertilized individually. Are you a set of twins? Have you known these facts so far, or are there some that are new to you? Let me know in the comments. 15. The color of twins. You don't see a lot of twins with different skin colors, but believe me, it does happen. Twins could have non-birthing parents with separate skin tones. A non-birthing parent, such as a father, could fertilize an egg. Let's say that person's black. Then another non-birthing parent who's white could impregnate the same mother. The twins that result from this may have different skin tones. Biracial parents can also create children with the same characteristics. 14. Bonding in the womb. How early does the bond between twins form? Crazy as it may seem, this social interaction begins while they're still in the mother's womb. Twin-to-twin contact begins just weeks into the gestation period. After 18 weeks, the twins are familiar with one another, forming a bond that lasts well into their childhood and adult lives. 13. Mirror twins. There are identical twins and fraternal twins. However, that isn't the end of the story when it comes to types of twins. While identical are made by one egg and one sperm, and non-identical are made by two eggs and two sperm, you also have mirror twins. Experts don't entirely know how they're formed. You can spot them because they have the same features on opposite sides. In other words, one is like a mirror reflection of the other. 12. The country with the highest rate of twins. Africa is reportedly a hotspot for twin births. Why is that? Well, it could be genetic. Experts also state that diet plays a potential role in the birth of fraternal twins. Because they eat a lot of yams over there, this could increase ovulation, which is when an egg is released from the ovary. But why yams? Well, yams contain phytoestrogens, or natural compounds. These have a similar effect to estrogen, a sex hormone. And yes, it sounds a lot like my last name. I've heard it for years. Yams and female reproduction? Who knew? 11. Separate twins are still similar twins. Twins are often indistinguishable from each other, both physically and in terms of personality. But does this happen when they're separated? Yeah, it does. Despite being in different places when growing up, twins can have similar personalities and worldviews. A 1990 experiment at the University of Minnesota discovered that distance was no object. You can be two peas in a pod, even if they're separate pods miles away. 10. The mothers of twins. If you give birth to twins, you could be increasing your chances of a long life. Of course, it isn't as straightforward as that, but this is information that's worth knowing. Mothers in good health are well placed to have twins, owing to their strong physical condition. This eye-opening news was revealed in 2011. Who were the examples included in the research? Utah women of the 19th century, of course. A team at the University of Utah noticed that 4,603 out of nearly 59,000 women back then had given birth to twins. Times were tougher, and people were too, it seems. Yet these factors may have led to a stronger reproductive system. This resulted in more babies and a potentially longer life. 9. Tall tales. The taller you are, the more children you're going to give birth to. This doesn't sound scientific, however, an expert at Long Island Jewish Medical Center researched this very conclusion. In 2006, work was carried out by an obstetrician, Dr. Gary Steinman. His study focused on dozens of American mothers who had twins, comparing their measurements to mothers of average height. The height difference between mothers with twins or triplets and everyone else was only an inch, but still, Steinman proved that size matters. A combination of growth hormones and the protein-based reaction IGF, or insulin-like growth factor, is believed to be behind the fascinating statistic. 8. The world needs identical twins. Surprising though it may sound, twins have contributed a lot to the field of science. Because they share so much, twins provide experts with a unique genetic insight into diseases and other vital stuff. They've taken part in numerous experiments and studies over the years, with impressive results. For example, we know that epilepsy can be inherited thanks to studying twins. Also, the LSP1 gene, which is a contributing factor to breast cancer, was found through scientists working with twins. 7. Talking twins. It's been observed that a male twin can take longer to develop language skills during the first couple of years of their life, leading to a so-called language delay. Why does this happen? Well, there isn't a precise answer. A baby's weight and the time of birth can possibly affect their mental development. They might also behave differently in a social sense, which potentially affects how quickly they acquire knowledge. 6. Blood types. When eggs are fertilized separately by two different fathers, it sometimes produces intriguing results, such as one twin having one blood type and the second having another. This applies to fraternal twins. They're also referred to as dizygotic, a word that originates from the Greek di meaning two and zygote meaning egg. 5. Shared risk. One major drawback to being an identical twin is that you share everything, including diseases. It isn't 100% certainty that if one twin becomes ill, the other will too. After all, they share a lot of the same DNA, even though mutations can make them different. That said, it's clear that they often experience the same issues with their health. 4. Virtual twins. Have you heard of virtual twins? And no, I don't mean like cyber twins or anything to do with online. I'm talking about twiblings or almost twins in the real world. One twin is in the womb and the other is adopted by the expectant parents. Both kids are raised simultaneously as if they were twins, though obviously they aren't officially twins. 3. Male versus female twins. Identical twins are born due to one egg separating. Despite being independent people, the twins come from that one separated egg. So here's an interesting question. Why are there more identical female twins than males? It's a long-standing and pretty weird scientific mystery. Things are more balanced with fraternal twins, yet male twins miss out. This is despite the gender of identical twins being a total wild card. Girls just come out on top, and the reasons behind this are still being studied. 2. Placenta pals. The specifics of how identical twins are formed are weird and slightly unpredictable. Let's take the placenta as an example. A mother's placenta can be shared by her twins. When this happens, they are known as MCDA, or monochorionic diamniotic. Safely tucked away inside their respective amniotic sacs, MCDA twins are the most recognized kind of identical twin. MCMAs aren't so familiar. The second M stands for monoamniotic, as both fetuses occupy the same amniotic sac, like some crazy infant apartment share. They share the placenta but are also at risk from factors such as insufficient blood distribution and getting tangled in the umbilical cord. 1. Many happy returns. Or not. Just because one twin has a birthday doesn't mean the other one is celebrating yet. Identical, or almost identical they may be, they could have entered the world at very different times. There was a fascinating story where one twin was born late on New Year's Eve 2021, while their sibling appeared a quarter of an hour later. In fact, this second twin was born at midnight, so not only were they born at a different time, but in a whole other year. And that's all for today. But if you want to know more cool information, then how about this fun trivia quiz to keep your brain buzzing? What are the names of the twins in Rugrats? Is it A, Flo and Poe, B, Phil and Lil, or C, Boris and Horace? Award yourself some bonus points if you can tell us whether they're identical or fraternal. If you liked or even loved our video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular fact drops. That way you'll get to watch our top-rated content like 25 bizarre medical facts. Now, I'm no doctor, but I do sure love telling you some weird-ass facts. Click on the link and I'll see you there. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And as always, I'll see you next time. But seriously, like I said, total shout out to the greatest twin of all time, Rondé Barber, of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sure, shout out to his brother Tiki, but I'm not a Giants fan, so Rondé is the best.